MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by... Is it necrophilia or bestiality?
Happy Thanksgiving! What decade are these from?
These are frozen. You didn't heat them up?
The kitchen's haunted.
What?
Look, maybe try showing a little gratitude, pal. This is a holy day, and there are literally starving people who have nothing to eat right outside. Because I just took their frozen turkey dinners and handed them to you a minute ago.
What?
Are there really people outside the front door?
Shut up.
They can't hear you if you don't talk. Are either of you guys expecting company?
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Listen, Sherlock. Just because every Ike in town relies on you to protect them doesn't mean that I couldn't kick your butt.
Anytime.
You want some?
Oh, yeah.
So if you want, you can mention that it has been done.
I was going to say, should I do a trade night? Or should I say, well, I'm considering trade night?
This thing doesn't deserve anything. We should just vote right now.
All right, everyone, we're doing the votes. Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. And guys, holy cow, it is Thanksgiving.
You're awfully loud, man.
And as the theme of Thanksgiving is food, we decided to do a food movie. But we didn't want to do just any food movie. Now, if you're of a certain ilk, I feel like this is known in an underground subculture of people who like to torment themselves by watching shit-tacular
in
movies.
that long series of food movies, food themes movies.
Sausage Party,
Foodfight.
Foodfight, which is, I just
This one?
broke the title.
Italian fast food. It was the one that
That's
I was.
what I
in.
meant.
There you go.
Yes.
But no anthropomorphic food items.
All right.
In the anthropomorphic food item subgenre.
Are you crazy?
So, guys, we were just debating whether or not
Food
this
fight?
should be a trite night.
Food
Because
fight?
I asked Mateo if anyone has done this online. He says a lot of people have. So, you know, the nerds have their claws into this. This is known about. However,
Stop talking about that, man.
in an embarrassing thing to admit, this is actually the second time we've seen this. We watched this before, not for the show.
I don't think we watched the whole thing, though.
I think we did. Pretty sure we did.
Of course.
And this deserves an episode because this is objective. When I was watching it this time, I didn't care as much how bad it is because it's objectively interesting this thing exists. And as we get into it, you guys will see why. I know Mateo said he did some research, but this is very, very, very bad.
Oh, okay.
And yet, I still think something like the Titanic cartoon, in a way, was worse.
Oh, Angelica, you really are hopeless.
Here you are. Let's hope it's a smooth crossing.
This is mostly visual slop. Now, Matthew was saying that he wants me to try to do the breakdowns, right?
Stop talking about how we format the show and just
The
do
people
it.
like the...
Don't worry, I can cut everything masterfully.
My God, man, this is like having the script on you when you're filming a scene in a
The
movie.
people like the rough...
It's ridiculous.
they,
Like you're reading the scene directions.
they like the rough, off-the-cuff nature that we're just live figuring out.
They
with
is
them.
who? They is no one.
The people that are watching this, they love the off-the-cuff feel that they are getting a live discussion with their three favorite friends.
Yes, but they're not getting a live structuring of the show. This should happen before the cameras turn on.
So this is...
You ever thought about having discussion about how you do things in life?
Do you understand life? Do you?
This is 2012's Foodfight. The idea behind this movie is that
Like you know.
Hold on. Hold the line.
our beloved food icons, which you may be able to see there on the cover, we have Charlie Tuna.
Beloved is pretty stretched there. Charlie Tuna hasn't been popular since 1994.
Charlie Tuna, there is.
I was going to say, let's list all the actual iconic ones.
On the cover, there is Charlie Tuna, the
Stork.
Twinkie the Kid.
Twinkie the Kid, and the Stork from Vlasic. I don't know if it has a name.
And
I'm
then
sure
in the
that it
movie,
does.
we see for about 0.7 seconds, Mr. Clean, Hawaiian Punch,
Mrs. Butterfield.
Mrs. Buttersworth,
Butterworth.
the
the Bubble.
Mr. Bubble,
The
Technically, the penguin is
the-
apparently the,
the-
Kid Cuisine penguin.
Yes,
it looks
and
different nowadays.
The
Tootsie Roll
California
owl.
prunes.
California raisins. So
Raisins.
GD respect.
Oh, they're not prunes.
Hey,
One of them.
Yeah,
There he is,
one
that
of
boy
them,
over
yeah.
there. So we have a smattering of actual...
gay bat.
Do you go out much, by the way? Because I like to dance a little myself. I dance a bit.
Which I don't think is.
Gay disco bat.
Yes.
Gay Disco Bat Pickle. That name. We have a smattering of actual ad icons.
Ikes.
Ikes, as
Yeah.
in the movie terminology.
Aw, okay, you little Ikes. Bye-bye.
My argument will be that there is the DNA for an absolute home run of a family film in this.
Shut up, man.
But let's get into it. I feel like I'm so curious about this. Let's try to blaze through. We're going to blaze through the plot because there's just endless things to pick apart. The plot is pretty much this: we have Dog, Dick, Doxy, Detective Duck,
Deck duck.
Doug,
Dog.
Dex a dog detective.
Dex dog detective.
Dex Dog Detective. Oh God, the way.
Just look at all these articles talking about all the millions of cases you solved.
Oh, yeah?
Played by Charlie Sheen, who took this because he had to pay for his HIV medication after plowing through half the population of Los Angeles. Eva Longoria and
Hilary Duff.
Hilary Duff.
And Wayne Brady.
And Wayne
Those are
Brady.
the four main characters.
The idea is that there is a town a grocery store full of anthropomorphic living ad icons.
Now, at night, the supermarket becomes this town populated by
It's Toy Story.
puns.
With food.
Yes.
But it's like magic, or that's how they perceive themselves, because the shelves.
Toys
change.
are for loving. Same Christmas toy. Same type.
No, because the shelves transform into like a city.
People have to leave though, right?
Yeah,
people have to
the
leave?
supermarket has to be shut down.
Yeah, and then the end caps and the shelves and the aisles turn into like a cityscape with like streets and buildings and
Airplanes. And
dedicated to certain products. So it's like, are they perceiving their world that way, or is it like magic?
I don't know, because at a certain point they have the discussion of going into the real world during the day.
Yes.
Daytime? No one has ever done that. Are you crazy? What about all those humans out there? The ones with the big feet that never supposed to see us during the daytime.
That has never been done before.
And it just looks normal.
Yeah.
Or it looks, I mean,
yeah.
aside from the shoppers and how fast everyone's...
Nothing looks normal. This main point, this movie might not be somewhat as insane to discuss if it wasn't for the visual look, which is beyond my comprehension. So we have our main cast. Actually, as me and Mateo were saying, pretty good cast. Not used well, but pretty good cast. Pretty strong cast of professionals. The Brand X conglomerate wants to come in and switch all of the icons with generic brands for money, capitalism, evil, metal.
Yeah.
Which is Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. I'm compartmentalize that for a second. We're going to get back to his character. But Christopher Lloyd is our evil Brand X guy. And they try to take over, and then Dog Detective Dexter has lost his Sunshine Skank, who is the...
Sunshine Pussy Lips.
Sunshine Pussy Lips for Sunshine Prunes. Raisins. What the hell is her product? It is raisins, actually.
Raisins, which is poison for dogs, and she keeps feeding them to Dex.
You want some?
Oh, yeah.
It warms my heart the way you love my raisins, tough guy.
You know, those things will kill me. Don't worry, it's actually squirrel turds.
Why do you have so many of them?
I collect them.
Wait, that's Dan. Dan's a squirrel.
Is that the enticing scent of rich, creamy chocolate? Are you chocolate? Are you made of chocolate? Really? That is so sweet.
Oh, right. And there's a chocolate squirrel who says he wants to leave chocolate glaze all over Eva Longoria's lips. In the movie, he says, "Damn, girl, look at all that cake. How about I leave 6 gallons of this chocolate glaze all over them lips?"
Something like that.
Seemed a little explicit for a kid's movie, but that's verbatim what he said.
Oh, mamacita! Yo, sweet cakes! Oh, nice package refreshing. How about some chocolate frosting?
So then they have to go.
So she the
Who the hell could remember this?
the lady friend of Dax, Sunny, whatever, is kidnapped. 6 months go by. Dax.
Oh, right, I'm sorry. Dax wants to propose to
Yes.
Sunshine Lips.
What is the ring? The ring looks like
4 carats.
4 carats. Because
I'm sorry.
you get it now.
You're about to do the thing.
There was one less pun in the movie that was missing.
So he wants to get married, and he's about to do it when his squirrel friend tries to spell out a skywriting thing of the girl going down on him, I think it is.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you spelling? Why does it look like me on my knees?
But he can't draw the dick right.
But he can't draw the dick right, so he has
tries
to do
to loop-de-loop.
He has to do the loop-de-loop to get the
the
semen
balls
drops that are cascading in the cloud drawing his face. So
Ends up
he-
crashing and
and
burning
dies.
alive because he can't get the seatbelt off.
Yes.
And then the girl says, hold on, I need to go check to see if his body
Like
has
his
survived
plane
the
just
wreck.
crashed and his best friend's like, where are you going, honey?
I better go check on Danny just to make sure he's okay.
I'm sure he's fine. Dan always crashes. Like yesterday, for example.
He could be engulfed in
And he
flames
says, I'm
right
sure
now.
he'll be fine.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like a
I'm
cat.
sure it'll be
Oh,
fine.
my baby.
What won't be fine is this raging erection I thought you were going to get to right now.
Ray took a blue
The
chew.
erection comes later when he's
The
dancing.
wobbly knee. All right, this is what I mean. I don't care about this plot because there's a million things we need to point out to you guys.
But
so
going through the plot,
we're
helps us
barreling
get
through.
to these points.
We're barreling through. All right.
I can't guarantee it.
So then we cut to 6 months later because she apparently disappears after running to find the plane wreckage. Even though he does find Dave.
Yeah, and in the same place where she was running away from.
And then he
Check
says,
it.
where has she been? It's been hours. And it's only been a minute.
And then, thank God, he meets his friends, the Weasel. We'll get to the Weasel in a second.
Just
And
a greasy, glossy turd.
If perhaps you desire a companion for those lonely bachelor nights, then here's good news. I am the weasel for you.
and
Like ate a bunch of hairspray and then pooped out.
you made the Jello with the diarrhea, and it's just like you shape it as.
It's disgusting.
You despise me, don't you?
We now return to
Well, Brand X is 30 strong now. This is our new home. We want to help. Why not let my Ikes maintain order in the aisles?
Why you?
So then we find out that the sinister plot is that the brand food, brand food.
Brand X.
Brand X is kind of like a Nazi party and decides to.
But in a less fun way.
In a much less fun way, yes.
No group showers.
For instance, and they want to take over everything, the whole world of products.
You and your lousy jingle aren't welcome.
We will return to pulverize you all. Pulverizing! I love pulverizing.
It's kind of like Kroger or Kirkland for Costco.
Yeah.
So they have this, not exactly poison, but is a.
Doc, so what is it?
It's a preservative. Okay, imagine the chemical opposite of a preservative, huh? Yeah? One dose causes a victim to spoil in his own unique way.
And this one is the exact opposite, and it kills the various Ikes.
These Ikes didn't expire in a rumble. Somebody just wants it to look that way.
Are you saying what I think Shoes is saying?
Rigor mortis has set in. Looks like all these poor Ikes were rubbed out.
That's what they're using?
Yes.
Stop. Sorry. I think your headphones are doing again.
What?
Your headphones are on. No one hears it?
Yeah.
Yo, what?
There is something.
Jesus, how is it starting to play?
How are your headphones not in the...
You picked me up, so I didn't do the,
It's my fault?
Airplane mode should work, right?
Or simply stop.
No, stop. Yes, but this happened twice now. I didn't hit play.
Oh.
I don't understand.
How about the Jennifer Lopez song play? Dad loves it.
What? Dad wouldn't.
He did. He had it on his playlist, and it played when he was out of the house grocery shopping.
What?
I just don't get it.
So they want to kill all the mascot, the Ikes.
Good.
Of,
Wipe them out.
Yes.
This town is disgusting.
But eventually they had this wonderful plan. There is a probably Jewish doctor who is working on a serum to reverse.
You kept saying you thought he was Jewish. Why? Why did you point out him specifically?
Dude, there's no way that they have a character with the most
plus
cliche
at the end,
Jewish voice. And
he's the one who clocks Dex for being Jewish.
The prominent feature is his nose.
This I can tell you. The Brand X elixir is toxic to humans, and what toxic? And highly addictive. Whoa, addictive!
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, instead the voice of the dragon is so politically correct that it's fantastic.
Oh!
Kung Tofu!
But I, Kung Tofu, am innocent!
So he's working on a serum to save the Ikes, and in the meantime there is these Foodfight, hence the title, where the food attacks the army of Brand X, which have Lady X as the Hitler of the situation, let's say.
Yeah.
Without a mustache, but she is firing a bomber through her vagina from that shot.
She stretches hourly.
Yes.
What did you guys think about the scene? I thought it was pretty funny where all of a sudden the door bursts open and the Indigo Girls run in and they look around disappointed and then go, oh, they said a bunch of Ikes are in this city. I could not think of a more up-to-date and not...
What is Indigo Girls?
The Indigo Girls are a band that literally only exists because every time there's a go-to lesbian joke, they're used because they're a lesbian band. But, like, that's the only reason I know them. I don't even know what a song sounds like. And I'm sitting here, blocking out whatever the two of you are saying, trying to think of something for that joke. And I'm like, I literally can't think
That's your wonder.
I can't think of anything of the Indigo Girls. There's no famous lesbians now.
Of course there are.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres is disgusting.
Damn it, Ellen DeGeneres would have been a lot more funny.
Try it again.
So what did you guys think about the scene where Ellen DeGeneres ran in frothing at the mouth and then suddenly looked wildly disappointed? And then she was like, oh, you said there that there were a bunch of filthy Ikes.
Filthy.
I get what you did. Because she thought of Ike and Mike.
Yeah, she likes inserting them in... Whoop, whoop, whoop. Portia, we're going to play Where'd They Go again. Oh, I think I know where they went, Ellen. They have a horrible yeast infection. You left them up there last time. You know what it does have a Mike and Ike inside your vagina for 6 months that you don't even know about?
Happy Thanksgiving.
She does it while she sleeps, so she doesn't know that she's inserting fruit snacks into her vagina nightly.
The doctor thought I had some horrible but tasty disease. Why is your doctor eating the discharge? Why? That's the important question. Why is he eating the discharge?
Could you do that?
You know, I looked at my doctor's Yelp and it was just that comment over and over again.
Like, it's a new version of Pez. It's the inverted Pez. It comes from underneath instead of on top.
Ooh, slimy.
So there is this colossal food fight. The scientist saves the Ikes. Oh yeah, and the weasel uses a chainsaw to.
He does the Leatherface spin.
It destroys an electric pole, and that creates a gigantic.
Sure.
Yeah, electric storm that destroys the buildings for whatever
Oh wait,
reason.
but they have it linked up with a bunch of makeshift tinfoil antenna conductors.
Yeah. And then there is this huge fight, and then it shows up that not only whatever name is Mr. Clipboard, the Christopher Lloyd characters can transfer into the Ike's world, but he is a huge robot maneuvered by Lady X, who in reality was an old testimonial, an old Ike of some prunes and she went to have some plastic surgery, but Lady Sunshine or Sunshine, whatever, beats her up, so she goes back to be ugly, and because she's ugly, she's evil.
Plastic surgery is mostly just masking tape, so if you hit it off, it's just going to all fall apart.
And duct tape, yeah. So they take her away, and so the moral of the movie is that if you're ugly, you're evil.
Now don't take that masking tape off or the breast lift goes away. Just tape them up.
And finally, Dax, the dog detective, marries Sunshine, and we find out that he is Jewish.
Dex is Jewish?
Yeah, kosher.
Who knew?
Which is important.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. It's just like, I guess, is the joke that he smashes the milk carton.
But why are they getting married by a Colombian drug lord?
That's a good question.
For another time.
I'm not sure.
All right, now that's over.
Why is that the closing joke?
We have to trash every
I
aspect.
wasn't like, oh, we have the soy vey line. How do we get that in there?
Yeah.
They said soy vey?
Of course.
The racist dragon said that.
Who knew?
Maybe he's not racist if he's voiced by a Japanese man.
I doubt that it was voiced by a Japanese man.
So now that we've gotten all those horrifically boring, pointless, and nonsensical plot details out of the way, it's time to break down how visually disgusting in every way possible this movie is. It should be an achievement that should be recognized by the Motion Picture Academy because there has never been anything that looks this disgusting, ugly, vile, lo-fi. Let's start with the biggest offender that makes everything else in the movie seem not as horrid, which is the design of every aspect in look, aesthetics, movement of Christopher Lloyd's villain.
May I help you? You must be Leonard, the manager. I'm your new Brand X representative.
It is extreme Parkinson's.
Dude,
Michael J. Fox just passed it to Christopher Lloyd just by a handshake. And it's because of his old age, he just took control of his entire body.
They drew it and animated it while operating a jackhammer.
Dude, everything else literally makes sense compared to the decision to make every movement a flopped over, scoliosis-infested, shaking, leg-kicking, seizuring, a cockeyed,
but
evil...
once we know that a lady is piloting him, it makes more sense to be like, oh, here's a giant robot creature.
Yeah. God damn it, Matthew. That does make sense. Son of a bitch, man.
Well, let's talk about instead the
Still
wonderful, there's one close-up, but a wonderful lady shopper.
Dude, it is just this...
No, Larry, I am not buying that for you!
First of all, it's N64 cut screen graphics. This whole thing reminds me of like Banjo-Kazooie. It is just hideous, blocky, bland,
there's got to be a decision to make...
ugly people.
Like, it's got to be a decision to make...
The
like,
humans ugly?
Yeah.
But everyone's ugly.
But that is so...
The human
like,
icons are ugly.
I mean, we'll cut the clips so you guys can see, but it's just so indescribable how disgusting and unappealing. Like, it's already lo-fi, but it's almost as if it's like a trauma movie, and they're like, let's try to make this genuinely visually unpleasant. You have to try to make your characters look this bad. Unfortunately, Matthew was right, and I hate that he said that because it does make a little more sense to lurching this, but it doesn't take away from how ridiculous and horrid.
Why do you walk that way?
Scoliosis.
Oh.
Wait until you get a whiff of our Brand X elixir. It's practically addictive.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
Probably the next biggest offender is the weasel.
No, the old lady with the shopping cart.
Or let's stay on the lady for a while.
That's what she said.
Another good one! You're on fire!
So the old lady with the shopping cart, who granted we only get about less than a minute of.
This is when the Ikes go into the real world because they have to get to the office,
computer to
something.
send the email from the computer of Mr. Leonard.
So we actually get an interaction scene when the grocery store is actually open.
Yeah.
And people are flying down these
It
aisles.
looks like a highway.
Yeah, on both sides of the traffic, just rushing these aisles with the shopping carts.
And because they're on the top shelf and they're little, he's like, all right, all of us have to, go down this thing. And Ellen DeGeneres kicks the door and frothing again, and she says, oh, God damn it, you said a bunch of Ikes are going down. She's just seizuring.
The door to where?
Frothing at the mouth.
The door to where? The writing room? How'd you get here, Ellen? So we get a glimpse of a few customers. I mean, most of this, like you said, the crowd scenes, you can just pick how there's like maybe 10 different variations of people.
Not even that.
And they're just repeated constantly.
The same gesture.
Yeah.
The same action.
Let alone the people dancing in the club, but
yes.
When you get close-ups of characters, let alone this one human lady and her disgusting baby, I'm like, are they trying to make a commentary on the shopping experience and the people at Walmart? But just nasty, awful, gross design. Like, you put 0.01 seconds into the effort of creating this character.
Give us 1 week. Your customers won't know how they lived without Brand X.
We now return to
MaJaMa. How did you get in and out of the store? You're an Ike.
Humans! When you look like this, you can get them to do anything.
Well, so everyone, like you said in the one scene where Dog is explaining, and it looks like he's like,
his name is...
Why'd you do that? It's like everyone, because of the floppy motion, looks like they're
sometimes
dancing.
They do a pirouette. With no particular reason.
The Weasel.
Excuse me, Cheezel the Weasel, sir, but I seem to be catching a draft up here.
Let him go, Cheezel.
Dex, what a pleasant surprise.
Looks kind of like a 6-year-old's drawing of a dick and balls to begin with. Then they made him a dark brown hue, and on top of that, they give him a distinct, slick, shiny, wet look, and it looks like a turd. It looks like a moving, and his neck is always all bent down and weird.
It's like someone took like a ferret at a gay pride parade back alley, and then shoved it up someone's ass, and then it just came out that way, and the whole thing is just running around just greasy, lubed up.
You're the character designer? What was the inspiration for this?
Well,
it's just rank.
Wait. May I suggest a calculator?
Yes. It's visually offensive and insulting. At least Lady X has an image that it looks like, it reminds me of The Incredibles in terms of the when she's using when she's wearing her uniform. But it's a woman, a young woman. It's pretty,
what a woman.
Yes, with the hair don't move.
No.
Oh, but being filthy can be loads of fun. Don't you think so, Dex?
But I was telling you guys that there's almost an argument to be made that most of the WTF here is in the shocking aesthetics, and story-wise it's more of a generic the bad guys need to be taken down tale. I'm thinking of the similar Titanic The Legend Continues, where not only was the animation incredibly lo-fi,
So hurry up, you layabouts! All right, when you keep.
but every decision and plot was just like, wait, what is like?
Yeah.
So there a little bit of points for that, but it's aggressively
points for what?
For just not being at least being a generic story. Like Titanic just made my brain feel like, what is?
The thing is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So also
a little bit of.
I was gonna say, let's get into the behind this. I want to know all this now. I want to know how the hell this thing came in.
I might be not completely thorough, but
give me anything.
Yeah. So.
This is CNN.
Now an up-and-coming Hollywood studio is partnering with IBM to give animated movies a makeover.
We're huge fans of Pixar. I think they do an amazing job, but we have to think to ourselves, well, how can we go out and try and do something different?
Threshold's answer? Do it with the backing of an unlikely Hollywood partner, IBM.
Start with that number you told me. Jesus.
Larry Kazanoff had a company, a special effect. They work on Mortal Kombat.
He's American?
Yes, I think so.
I'm sorry, the OG 90s Mortal Kombat?
Yes, and Mortal Kombat.
This film was like produced in Syria.
Annihilation or whatever.
Okay, the two from the 90s, yeah gotcha.
So in 97, he had this idea of doing this...
I'm sorry, an effects guy on the Mortal Kombat?
Yes, and I think also a producer.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
think. He had the idea of opening this Threshold company that would produce animated movie. And this is also lost in the myth, but apparently they came up with this idea on a car trip, he and his partner. But then whatever. They came up with this idea of making a movie with the icons, the mascots of the several products. And then he had the idea, there were 3 other movies in...
a trilogy?
No.
Oh.
A quadrilogy,
God,
which is a word that doesn't exist, so it's a tetralogy. But no, there was supposed to be a movie called Mascots, with the football mascots. One called, I think, Arcade, with which was kind of like a Wrecking Ralph, using the...
Oh, okay, yeah, precursor to Wrecking Ralph.
And then one that I think it was something like called Sunday Comics or something, and again, it was supposed to be an interaction of all the Sunday Comics characters that you find on the newspaper.
I don't hate these ideas. I was the guy that actually was excited about the
I mean,
Serial
if you're
Monsters
a major
shared universe.
corporation that can get these titles and these
Okay, we'll get to that,
IPs.
but I'm saying as an idea, dude, I was actually excited about a Serial Monster cinematic universe.
Yes, but if you create that movie within the Serial Monster, you do Blueberry, Frankenberry, Count Chocula.
I'm still here for that.
But if you like expand it and
Yes.
throw in Tony the Tiger and
I mean, you can like Roger Rabbit, that you have Warner Brothers and Disney.
Yeah.
But anyways, he manages to get both because they had some money from the Mortal Kombat, and I think that he also worked on Bud the Chud 2.
What?
I mean, Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
MaJaMa alumni.
So between that and
brain aneurysm,
an Asian corporation that is investing, he manages to raise $25 million
What did you do? Rob the food bank?
to make this movie. And
was that money spent on this?
Well, it gets better.
I don't understand. Well, I don't get it.
They were allegedly not asking for money from the very company that they were using the characters, but they would have had some cross promotion with that, so they would have had eventually some incomes coming in. And plus, there are more investment, and this is very nebulous. So the movie, in the end, it should have cost, or at least it's reported to be cost, something between $45 and $63 million. But, and this gets very interesting.
I can't guarantee it.
He made a sort of a 7-minute showreel to present to...
And they just looped it to an hour and a half. I knew it.
No, because I wish. Because they made a 7-minute showreel to present to possible investors to get this $20 million or however they got, which was much better animation-wise. It is on YouTube.
Oh.
We will use
Oh.
some images.
Okay.
Sparse here.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
But I'm not talking about...
No, I know. I mean, I get it, but still, this is like I
It
said.
was
This is so
definitely-
terrible that it's
And
the bar is already pretty low, so
yeah, no, probably
the bar is underground.
They did not use any of that because of this. The quality of it would have been too
jarring.
Different, yes. It's kind of like those old movies where you say, "Oh, look at the stadium with the game," and then you see a game that is clearly filmed 100 years before. Or
I get the picture.
Mysteriously, at a certain point, Mr. Kazanov claims that
In 2004, Larry told the New York Times that the film's assets had been stolen during the Christmas of 2002, saying that even the Secret Service was involved in the investigation, but the case went cold almost immediately. However, no mention of this was ever made beforehand. Threshold was still showing the same old reel in 2003, and even crew members don't have any memory of this happening back then.
and nobody can find anything.
Nobody
Now-
cares though.
Now,
Got any
allegedly,
leads?
our lawyers have told us that we can say for sure.
Okay.
But none of the animators remember that. And
remember-
none of the animators says it's impossible for you to do an animated movie this magnitude and not having a backup.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. So they
Of this magnitude?
they think that is probably, or they suspect that it was probably instead something like just like, let's not make this movie. Let's just like claim
Should
that it was.
I? Or just the hard drive?
Yes. Yeah.
Brand X took my sunshine away.
Eventually-
The food fight cut?
It was supposed to come out on December 2003.
What?
They didn't. Then in 2005...
Dude, I just graduated high school a few years back.
2005, it didn't. 2007, it didn't. Eventually, thanks to a clause of the contract of some of the investors, the ownership reverted to them. They auctioned it for $2.5 million to an insurance company, I think, which say, okay, let's finish it as quickly as possible. Let's put it out and try to minimize the damage.
A true spark of genius.
So they bought it for $2.5
How did they find the footage?
I guess at a certain point they restarted the animation, whatever.
Take that gun out of your mouth. What's in your hand?
I mean,
man?
they redid it from the start?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, or at least this is what the generic story is. However, there are also very fascinating things, like the Larry Kazanoff decided to become a director, even if he had no prior experience in animation.
I'm loving all this, finding this out.
And
do all your animators keep loaded guns next to their desk?
Yes. No, actually, they have it in their mouth.
What? You said your animators have to animate with one hand. Why? Oh, 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 oh.
And at first, he decided, and there are some traces in this, to go with the.
Oh my God! What if we rot?
To go with the squish and stretch classic of the Warner Brothers cartoons, where the characters are malleable and in fact the weasel moves like that. The head.
I mean, it tries to move.
Or tries to move like that. But then after a while, he arrived and said, "Nope, the future is motion capture." So for whatever reason, they started to do mocap on this movie.
What?
To bring our stars to life, we use a technology called motion capture. Again, with the help of our friends at IBM, we have spent a tremendous amount of time pioneering a groundbreaking new motion capture process that allows me, the film's director, to be able to work with our characters and the animation as if I were in a live-action movie. This has never been done before.
With Parkinson's victims.
So you have...
Is this just to keep all these balls on me?
Yes.
Yeah, is this...
So they had...
Don't juggle them, leave them on your suit.
They had animators who were not used to work with motion cap, and motion capturer who are not
There were a
used
bunch
to
of
work
Somali
with animation.
refugees that they were sheltering and teaching how to use a computer. It's for
So
shelter.
eventually, they just put it together. They finished. It came out. They put it in theaters in England.
What?
Where it made reportedly £15,000, which is a little more than $15,000. And then in the rest of the world, it came out on home video.
It's our only shot.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
And there are a lot of animators who went on record to say, like for instance, some of them were saying, you hire me to do the backgrounds of the movies and now you're asking me to do animation. Yeah, I know the basics, but it's not my specialty. I am.
You hired me to do backgrounds. Why am I holding you while you sob in a bathroom in a Texaco? Where are we? Are you on drugs?
He also said that Threshold will become soon the rival of Pixar.
What's Threshold?
The company that produced this movie.
He said at the meeting, ladies and gentlemen, Threshold will become a rival to Pixar. What's Threshold? My company!
Yes.
I guarantee it. Well, pretty guaranteed. I mean, it's almost guaranteed. I can't guarantee it.
Wait, did that come up before the title? Before the credits? I mean, before the movie?
Sure, yeah, whatever.
Dude, I
kept seeing Viva.
So what
pictures? But that was
but because I think that at this point, when they purchased the actual movie, they removed any. But he also had very visionary ideas, like he wanted
no,
to.
No. Don't speak like that, man.
The idea he wanted to have this company where you could actually
get blown day after day.
Beside that, because actually, yes, at first they also had an adult. They had a video, a page on their website where girls in bikini were reading Shakespeare. Don't ask. But he wanted to have something like a company that you could call or write, whatever it was, and say, hey, I need an animation of a guy walking down the street, and they would provide it to you. That was the idea. It was kind of like before AI, it was a company that would provide you with some digital basics.
I mean, technically, an animation company.
An animation company, yes.
Are you saying what I think Shoes is saying?
Nothing of that happened, as you might have, because the threshold is not exactly a household name, as we just find out.
He gets 25 mil, and how does that cipher down to...
He wanted 25 mil, or he got 25 mil?
No, he got it.
He got it.
Well,
From who?
How much was actually...
From who?
From this company from South Korea, I think, or something like that.
I'm innocent!
I mean, Rami went door to door knocking on dentist doors to get the money for Evil Dead.
Yeah.
You just don't want to talk to people. We could have had a second time. Anyway, how much ended up being actually spent on this?
It's impossible to find out.
Dude, what a story.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
This
What
is
a
probably
story,
the
Mark.
most I've ever been interested on Jams to find out the background, because like I said, if you guys watch this for 5 minutes, it's just kind of like, also, it's perplexing because if you give me a no-name cast, and you're saying that there was some money and other stuff involved, it doesn't make sense, but it's still jarring the cast with this. Yeah. It's still a jarring effect. There's no names.
And the thing that is also even more perplexing is that, yes, okay, let's say that they stole your previous animation. Fine, you start from scratch. But in animation, you work backwards. You first lay down the audio track and then you do the animation on top of that. So the story was already there, and the story is horrible. It's generic and is bad, and the thing is that...
There's awful food pun after awful food pun.
You better go easy on the potato juice before you get chip-faced.
But we should say,
and references to older movies that kids would have no idea.
Yes, there are references to kids to movies that kids would have no idea. There are jokes that are way off color.
The whole thing, yes.
Maybe my eyes aren't that good, but if you would just let me lead. Well, the phrase isn't blind as an eagle, is it? No, it's blind as a bat. What do you think I am? And with you on my back yet? Not that I mind that.
Dude, Danny Dick Squirrel flying around the plane saying, hey, baby, you want a shot of my jizz in your face? Yeah. Or whatever he says to her.
Oh, Mamacita! Yo, sweet cakes! Oh, nice packaging! How about some chocolate frosting?
You want some chocolate frosting?
The vampire has a couple of...
Dude, the gay disco vampire was hitting on the squirrel the entire time.
Yes.
And there's the scene at the end where...
Humans! When you look like this, you can get them to do anything. Size only counts for men.
Clever plan, puss.
Size matters only for men.
Yeah, because she's in the giant suit. It's like size matters only for humans. And then we have a cut screen where the bat goes towards the squirrel, and the squirrel's like, whoa, man.
But look, I will say this, that I know a lot of people would roll their eyes at the mascots, the football mascots idea. I like that in the.
But like, is it going to be in a world where they exist as like?
Well, look,
creatures, or is it like people in costumes dealing with?
Has to be worked out, but both for the fun of it and the money-making aspect, I get it, and I will say.
They didn't even have a first draft.
Listen, let's say this is being handled by someone with Disney money. Let's say you get official license to have like 100 different ad icons that everyone recognizes.
Because you
have gorgeous animation. They look exactly like they are. And the idea is that, like Toy Story, at night the icons come to life and have their own little world.
In fact, in the trailer, in the trailer, or in the showreel, there was also Cheetah.
Chester Cheetah?
Chester Cheetah on a motorcycle. And I'm not sure, but one of the things that also they lost, they had M&Ms. But they
Why haven't they made an M&M movie yet?
I don't know.
How is that such a missed opportunity with the caliber of commercials they're able to pull off?
And
you already have an established Abbott and Costello, if you will.
Yeah, you have all the characters. Yes.
Crispy M&Ms are back.
What are you doing?
You said to tell our fans crispy M&Ms are back.
Not those fans.
Did you mean this fan?
No.
What about that one? There's a fan in the break room. Oh,
so good, they're back.
Even beyond the rest, it's just
But
red and yellow.
They have a great but they have a great repertoire with all their characters, and they have pretty good commercials.
And they made for this case they made a catastrophic mistake of doing the green M&Ms a guy.
Wait, there was a green M&M in it?
No, exactly. That's why M&Ms say, you know what, bye.
Well, but I stand by the fact that if you give it the A+ Hollywood treatment, I will never not say this is not a great idea, and I think if executed well with jumping to any Pixar writers, Lasseter is Pixar, or I'm thinking of Pete Docter, I think did Soul, or even more so a Lord and Miller, Phil Lord, Christopher Miller. Get an A+ script like a Spider-Verse. Get top-notch animation. Get official licenses to make all of these ad characters. Have fun. You could even have the plot of Brand X wants to taint them. I'm telling you this. I'm not saying this is, but this idea I will always say is stellar. And if you're putting on your hat of okay, give me something for Hollywood that could be fun and also make bank, I love it. Yeah. And I think the football mascots is a good idea too.
Wreck-It Ralph did it right, like we were saying.
Wreck-It Ralph.
It's the character is not pre-established.
One guy
So
knew.
we have our main character as that because you don't have to attach him to any previous licensing agreements or any sort of.
It's Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Even better. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go all out. Give it the Roger Rabbit treatment. This should be a blast. This should be not necessarily the gravitas or the emotion or the intellect, but the reputation of Pixar movies. I feel like if you knock this out of the park, we'd be like, this is just a blast. And again, I'm coming back to Lord and Miller because I feel like they're really great at doing stuff that has just enough of an edge of the actual humor we love while keeping it 100% still for the family. Spider-Verse, both, I think, is an amazing accomplishment for digestibility. Nerds like us can love it. Mom could love it. Mainstream people could love it. Families could love it. I see potential for an absolute home run, both money and story-wise in this.
I did no more than you let me do.
They did none of that.
No.
But the guy's idea was good.
Quoting, for instance, Casablanca, Gone with the Wind, and Evita.
A lot of it laid on Casablanca.
Yes. And maybe also because originally the character of Dog Detective was supposed to be human. Both he and the Sunshine Buttercup, whatever, were supposed to be human. And then they decided, they say, what is more human than animals? Animals. Or something
But why
like
is she
that.
a lady with cat ears and then not even whiskers, but
I
cat
don't know.
stripes on her face?
That's a very good question.
For another time.
We now return to
Follow me and watch the tail.
Oh, I'm so excited. Look at the table. I'm stuck in the mud. It's so disgusting.
It's also weird because the way, if you think of icons, it's like, why is the Hawaiian Punch guy, little stubby guy with these weird antlers? It's just that when it's established, you don't question it. So I'm not saying the design is great, but there is also something like when you create icons, it's like, there could be a cute cat-eared girl, but in this case, what is this? Why did you,
Why does he call a rat?
My mother would be so ashamed.
Okay, it's just you and me, fat cat. Now fork over the little guys and no one gets hurt.
Fat cat.
Great point. That's a genuine, it's
I mean,
clearly...
I think that's a joke of a fat cat being the name of a fat cat being a slang term for
that doesn't make sense. Stop saying these things. Fucking asshole. Such an asshole. And then that makes total sense why he would walk like that. 'Cause he's
But
a
then
robot.
again, the fat cat, which is a rat, has hairless hamsters as
Which are also aggressively unappealing visually.
Yes.
Also,
everything is. Everyone's eyes are just
the woman you said wait, because the customer woman, but the woman that's the general for the team.
But she's supposed to look ugly.
Either way, it's just such a disgusting design, dude.
Yes, you can do ugly without being repulsive.
You guys know the witches with Angelica Houston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on Roald Dahl, the way they look when they mutate, that weird, hairless, mousy. everything in this movie looks like that, like weird, sickly, pale, wrinkled mouse mutant flesh, just everything blech. It's like, oh, just look at your uncle who's dying of cancer's nutsack. Give me a close-up of it, and that's going to be the texture for everything we create in this movie. Your uncle's cancer-ridden, leathery flap of a nutsack in a NASA-esque close-up. That's what I want for the texture for all the characters in this kids movie. Oh, can you go find in Central Park a homeless guy just sauced and just laying a hot, steaming, glistening one on the lawn, and then get a close-up with your camera, and that's going to be the weasel's skin texture.
I'm sorry, my uncle is doing chemo. I can't. Right now, I can't.
You despise me, don't you?
Oh my God, guys, you with friends, you got to see this. Or maybe you can just watch the episode. And I think I was loving all the behind-the-scenes info. But this is one way or another. It's interesting this exists, and I will say, I hated watching it, even though I did have fun with you guys, and I've had less fun on Jams. But I like that this exists. It's a cool, it's a cool little weird anomaly. It's like a little urban legend. It's like a WTF
like,
story.
The Amazing Bulk.
Yeah, it's a moment.
The Amazing Bulk is tougher to get through. But
yes.
At a certain point, you say, okay, I cannot believe that this actually exists.
This seems like something that could sell overseas, like in war-torn Poland. Like, oh yeah, God, we'll take that. Absolutely,
we need to say
as a war of mass destruction.
Yeah. we need to say
just drop it on them.
Usually this is a comedic line, but this is actually 100% true. The moment that the three of us had the switch flipped that we could do a MaJaMa movie was watching The Amazing Bulk. That sounds like a one-liner, but when we saw The Amazing Bulk, it was the moment we all went, we can do this. No joke, guys. If you ever watch The Amazing Bulk, and again, a certain type of people know about these little horrible gems. Please don't. But that's what convinced us, no joke, that we could do it. So that's this type of movie.
The bar was really, really, really low.
Not that I mind that.
Gentlemen, should we express our feelings by throwing pieces of paper at this DVD and trying to knock it off the thing? Goddamn.
Don't!
Oh, I missed. Wow,
God, that's pathetic.
There we go. That first one.
That was quite uneventful. But okay.
Anticlimactic, but cathartic for me, which is how most of my love life goes.
Okay.
All right. So, actually, wait, I got to think before I jump into this because...
No, you don't. If you have to think, then you're...
Yes, I do. Because it was still fun to watch with my friend.
It wasn't that fun.
And it's objectively an interesting story. But I'm going to take Matthew's feelings into consideration. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3... And I'm going to be a little controversial and do 3.5 because because of this.
It's not a fun bad watch. It's not a fun so good it's bad movie. It's not.
I'm factoring in my own criteria, which is that I had fun watching it with you guys, and I am 100% genuinely fascinated by its existence. I loved hearing Mateo's behind the scenes info, and I'm genuinely happy.
When did he even talk about that?
I'm genuinely happy that this weird little thing exists despite it being a disgusting, awful piece of crap you shouldn't watch. I know it's weird, but 3.5 to try and sum up my odd feelings on it. I am happy it exists. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
I go with, which was probably the same thing that I did for Battlefield Earth or something like that. I go with 4.5 because it's horrible. It deserves 9, but there is that small thing that it does exist.
Yeah, that's about
that is what makes me say, okay, it's not, it's so, because it's bad, but it goes beyond that, and I say, okay, it's one
surreal.
It's one of those things that you need to see to believe it. We've done a couple of movies like this.
Good double feature with Titanic, The Legend Goes On.
Oh! Well,
not good, but it's similar.
You wouldn't survive the night.
Listen. We all get blasted on some beers and some pizza, and we put those on, and we're literally cackling, can't breathe with laughter. Yes, but otherwise, terrible, terrible movies.
Yes. But so, yeah, 4.5.
I'm going straight 5.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure what I'm grabbing here, but...
That's what she said!
There was nothing redeeming about it. I didn't think it was a fun watch. Granted, it wasn't as painful as I remember the first time being, but
That's true.
I did not...
You did enjoy the ketchup
weapon. You know what? I actually... No, hold on. Thank you. Real quick, not too long, but Mateo, just adding on to my point of how I think it's a good idea. There's tanks that have ketchup, and the weapon is the hand, like you're trying to tap the ketchup. I was just doing it in a diner this morning. Hands trying to tap the ketchup. That's a perfect example of something that I actually legitimately do like, the gag and design, and I think that's indicative of how this could be a blast.
Completely ruined by the whipped cream.
Coming out the wrong end.
It comes out from the wrong end.
But
how could you screw up
Flip it
that?
around.
No,
Yes.
look, the Mateo's point, that's what I mean when I say this could be a
Hey,
blast.
shut
That's
up,
fun.
shut up, shut
That's
up,
fun.
shut up, shut up. Five.
Ketchup
I
bottle
can't-
tanks is fun.
It was not so bad. It's good. It's not fun to watch. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't even think there was that much to make fun of. It did not seem as long or as arduous
Yes.
as other things
We
have
were cracking
have
up this
been,
whole
though.
episode.
Not while we were watching it, though. I wasn't even there. So how would I even know?
Your body was here.
Yes.
Well, it's an all, I don't know if, like I said, guys, I don't know if this is a trite night, but a bunch of people have apparently picked this thing apart. It's kind of a movie lore. If you're a so bad it's good nerd, you're probably going to want to see it. Please do it with friends, maybe a little intoxicated. But I'm glad we did this, and I hope you guys may have enjoyed some of the behind the scenes. Sometimes we want to highlight things that aren't good in movies, but like Mateo said, we're still glad they exist in this stratosphere of cinema
Mateo, you said that?
introspection. He said it literally minutes ago.
MaJaMa.
Kind of have a headache, and with that being said, he's going to make some pasta while we're locked up in this place for 3+ months. You guys are going to be back here next Thursday with your buddies on the paper-strewn couch, as we are every Thursday, because we love breaking down these POSs for you, our minuscule audience. And as always, if you stayed this far, please, for the love of God, drop a comment, click like, do share, do something. If you enjoyed this even a little bit, help the channel. We live and die by the algorithm. And after all that, blah, 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 this was a jam.
Last time you ended with.
Skit.
Say it. No.
I thought someone was gonna make a joke about jam, the food
Oh,
product.
food. Oh.
At least you said we should get a little thing of jam.
Oh, yeah.
Put MaJaMa Jams, and it's pretty funny, right?
You got any jelly?
Throw it in his
Yes.
face.
Oh, to eat. Oh.
I'm gonna shoot a promo video before you move.
Yes, and I love you, YouTube.
Love you, YouTube.
I'm not here.
No, you're not. Okay.
MaJaMa.
Good evening, I'm Weasel Blitzer. We open our news as usual. After over 12 years, Larry Kazanoff has still not apologized for his portrayal of us weasels as a scrotum molded in liquid diarrhea in his quote-unquote movie, Foodfight. I mean, do we look like that? No. Look at us. We're adorable, precious, delightful. Granted, we can rip your face off in the blink of an eye, but we're still cute as a button. So, since Mr. Kazanoff has not contacted us with his apologies, we'd like for him to know that two can play this game. And from now on, whenever we'll be talking about him, he'll be presented like this. Yes, that's the scrotum of Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. Because, dear Mr. Kazanoff, we'll be watching you. Every day, every night, 24/7. We will be watching you until you will apologize to us, the weasels. So sleep with one eye open, Kazanoff. We will be watching you, and we will be coming for you.